let's take 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes maximum to understand the remaining part of this. Because I remember we couldn't complete the last steps of line balancing technique with your group. We are not going to use this technique as auditors, but having understood this thing, you can understand some manufacturing facilities and some improvements needed and all. Not immediately, but later. One day you will realize. If you think of it, if you realize where we can use it, then you will realize it. I can't push you to think in that way, but I will just show you what are the steps. So, hope you remember these steps that we discussed the other day for product-oriented layouts. Don't know you remember in product-oriented layouts how the resources within the factory is arranged, right? Now the layout is all about resource arrangement. So in product type or product oriented layouts, how the layout is arranged, hope you remember. Now in a sequential manner, step by step. You don't remember? Now it should be your issue, right? Because we have discussed it several times, right? So product-oriented layouts have this characteristic. So the production line is arranged in a sequential manner, step by step, because they are used to produce only same type of products. Standardized products, highly efficiently, following that labor specialization concept, division of labor concept, right? So that we can have straight lines like this, or it could be U-shaped or inverted U-shapes. There we have workstations like this. And in such a factory, such a layout, materials are introduced from a starting point and it goes through a sequential process. At the end of the process, you get the final product. All material, all the products will go through the same path. I think now you should be able to understand it and compare it with the previous layout type. Previous layout type, what was it? What was it? Hello? What was the previous layout type we identified? Functional layout. Process-oriented layout. They are what we see one path or different paths. Here we see only one route, one path, but in the function or process-oriented layouts, different paths. Right? And that is why the resource arrangement they are done in a functional manner. Right? So like what? So resources grouped by the function. So there can be different routes for different products, different routes. Right? Different products may have different routes. But here, every product will go through the same route in a sequential manner. So we were trying to understand how this type of layout should be designed and what was the technique we identified. What is the name of that technique? Hello. What was the name of that technique? Something called what I have. Okay. What was the technique for this product-oriented layout design? What is the name of this technique? Assembly line balancing here, right? Assembly line balancing is the technique, right? So we were trying to understand this process, how to follow these steps, do these exercises. Now, even in services, we will have to use it, right? When managing, when designing the layouts, when you have to arrange a process in a sequential manner and to produce certain number of outputs, process certain number of customers at a given time. So for that, these steps are needed. I think we completed the initial steps. For a simple example like this, these are the steps. We need to determine cycle time and calculate the theoretical minimum number of workstations. For that, these two equations are used. I think we didn't calculate it, but I just showed you the equations. Then we will have to assign the tasks into workstations using the rules, and that we didn't do. Right. So we began with this concept, cycle time. I explained to you what it means. That is the speed of the process. Now in an assembly line, the speed of the process depends on what? Speed of the process depends on what? Cycle time, right? Cycle time. What we mean by cycle time here? When there are different workstations, the workstation that takes longest time, to complete their work, it could be this one, or the other one, this one. The longest time that determines the speed of the process. In this case, A, B, and C, we understood is the activity B. The time of activity B, that is 4 minutes, is the cycle time. So if the process is arranged like this, every 4 minutes time we will be getting an output. Now, A takes 2 minutes, B takes 4 minutes, C takes 3 minutes. That means different workstations take different time. This is not a balanced line. In case if we are to balance the line, what steps you follow, that is what we were studying. So we took this example. For this, we need such data, such information. Quickly understand it, and we can finish it off within 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, if you follow me quickly. What we need information about the tasks to be performed in the process. What tasks? In this case, this is for one wing component of an aircraft. So there are different tasks. Only the task code is given A to I, A, B, C, D, likewise. And these are the task times. Total of 65 minutes taken in the process. 65 minutes. And this column shows you the precedence required. So in sequential manner, these tasks should be completed. And accordingly, we need to prepare something called a precedence diagram that we did the other day. Right? So can you quickly refer to that diagram? Right? So in that diagram, we use two symbols. One is circle and the other one is arrow. Circle to represent any task. Arrow, that is to flow. Right. So looking at the information here, data here, we drew that precedence diagram, which is important. Even in exam question, if such information is given, based on that, you have to develop the precedence diagram first of all. Precedence diagram. Now, from where we should start? Maybe a task for 2 or 3 that doesn't have any prerequisites. Now here you can quickly identify there is only one starting point. Which task is the starting point? That is A, because only for that we don't have any prior tasks. So we know that we can start from A, and likewise quickly complete B drilling, right? So after A, we can move to B. A, B, right? And then after B, we can move to C. Can we? Yes. So quickly look at the graph illustration you have drawn, right? So this is needed to complete the next steps. So I will quickly draw it here. After B, D can be started. And E can be started straight away after A. And F after C and D. After both C and D, F can be started, and G can be started after F. And H can be started after E. And I after both G and H. So likewise, that kind of diagram is called procedures diagram that shows us the sequence circle. Now we need to consider other information and decide the other important figures here, important values. So now it says within a day 480 minutes available for production. So likewise, you should be given the available production time. So this is given in minutes. This is also given in minutes. So keep in mind. That is how you have to do it. Right? And then within a day, 40 units required. That is the output required. Based on which we have calculated the cycle time, required cycle time. Right? So that is the next step. So see, determine the cycle time is the next step. So quickly use this equation and calculate the required cycle time. You'll have to follow this quickly with me and be familiar with the process. Quickly determine the required cycle time considering the information given. Sometimes in the exam, a similar type question will be given and ask you first maybe describe the characteristics of product layout and all, and then solve this type of question. Required cycle time C equals available production time per day, that is given per day here 480 minutes available per day, and required number of output per day, right? That is 40 units. So what is the C then? 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Can you understand what does that mean? 12 minutes. cycle time. What's the meaning of that? How can you understand that value? What does this 12 minutes mean? 1 unit. Repeat it. 1 minute. 1 unit. 1 unit requires 12 minutes. But for one product, it takes total 65 minutes. Step by step, right? So all steps should be completed. Right? That takes 65 minutes, more than 1 hour. So what does this 12 minutes then? Did you understand this? 12 minutes. Any good guesses? Now you should remember that concept, cycle time. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of it? Well, required cycle time. So available time divided by required output. So 12 minutes. That means they should be able to get 1 unit at the end of every 12 minutes time. They should be able to get an output. For what? To meet output requirement. That means to produce 40 units within 180. That should be the speed of the process. Every 12 minutes, we should be able to get an output. Is that what you mean? Right. If so, that is correct. Right. Every 12 minutes, you should be able to get an output. So we have to arrange this line in a way that every 12 minutes we get an output, so that we can meet the output requirement. 40. Right. That is the concern. That's the requirement. Right? So we are going to do that by allocating these tasks into different workstations in the most efficient manner and arrange the layout accordingly. Right? Now, in the previous layout, do you remember what was the concern? Process-oriented layouts. We worried about material handling costs, non-adjacent loads. You remember, right? You should be able to do so. Right? So, non-adjacent loads, and that was the concern. But here, our concern is to make more balanced assembly lines, maintain the speed. Right. Now, what are the other steps we have to do then? Then we have to calculate something called theoretical minimum number of workstations, and for that we use the second equation here. In T, theoretical number of workstations, minimum number of workstations. I know that these concepts are new to you, but when you use it 1 or 2 times, you will be familiar with them. Just give it a try, you can understand. So that is sum of task time T divided by the cycle time we got here. Now, according to the example, sum of task time, that is the total time. So that is 65 minutes divided by the required cycle time, that is 12 minutes. We get an answer like 5.4. 5.4. Usually we round it up to the next complete value, the full value. We call it 6 then. So whatever it is, whether that is 5.1 or so, we round it up to the next complete value. So it's 6. So that is how. So we'll be able to arrange all these tasks. Minimum of 6 workstations. Practically sometimes we might exceed, but minimum means 6. So then what are the other steps? Now we have to balance the tasks, balance the line, using some rules. There are different rules. Here I have introduced you 2 rules. These are the common rules. We call them heuristics. Heuristics or assignment rules. You will understand the meaning, where to use, why we use it with the example. Right. Just feel free to understand it. Now, these are rules used to assign tasks. Right. So now there are 2 rules often used. We call it primary rule and the secondary rule. Now, in this case, let's consider the first as the primary rule, A as the primary rule. Assign task in order of the largest number of following tasks. You will understand later. The second one, assign tasks in order of longest task time as the secondary rule. Mention it there. A as primary rule, B as secondary rule. Sometimes we might change it. B as primary, A as secondary. So you have the freedom. But for this example, let's consider A as the primary rule, B as the secondary rule. In addition to that, there are other assignment rules also, like what you see here. Layout heuristics that we use to assign tasks to workstations in assembly line balancing. I will consider this one. Most number of following tasks as the primary rule. And we might need sometimes secondary rule as well, and for that I will go to the first one here, secondary rule, longest task time. I hope steps are clear up to this point. Cycle time 12 minutes and minimum number of workstations 6 workstations. Right, then we have to use these rules and assign tasks. Answer is given, but you can't understand it as it is. So I will show you how we assign tasks, and for that we will use a simple template like this: workstation, and then remaining time. And then we need principal task, principal task, and then comes towards task assignment. One task or few tasks assigned. So likewise, I will use this template. Show you. So these are columns needed. So even in the exam, you might require something like this to assign these tasks in your workstations. Right, following the other values. Right, let me show you how to start it and move forward with 1 or 2 workstations, and you can complete the rest. Quickly learn it and learn it within the classroom itself. Don't keep it as homework. Right. We begin with the workstation 1. Workstation 1. That's the starting point. Right. Now, Hope you can understand, right? So workstation 1 connected to 2, that is connected to 3, likewise till n. So from where to begin? When we think of the workstation 1, what task should be assigned to that? What do you think? According to the requirement, what should be the starting points? What are the starting points? Yes, if you understand the basics of it, by now you should be able to give me answer. Task A. That's very simple, right? So we have to go by the sequential or arrangement. Because magic simple there, right? So it should start from the starting point. Now in this case, that is the task A, because that doesn't have any prior task. So now workstation 1, right? We have to start with A. So that is the most feasible task. How many minutes available within workstation 1? Hello? Workstation 1, that means not the task time. Workstation 1, we refer to the cycle time. Right? We calculated it and we understood 12 minutes can be spent. So for workstation 1, we have 12 minutes. Understanding? We have 12 minutes. Now, out of these tasks, which task is feasible? That is A, nothing else, right? Can we start with B, O, E, O, D? No, we can't. We have to start from the sequential order. So it should be A. So that without any issue, we assign it. We assign A to the workstation 1. Right? And when we do so, how many minutes remaining in workstation 1? We have 12 minutes. A requires how many minutes? These are the task time. For task A, we need 10 minutes, so that we have remaining 2 minutes at workstation 1 after allocating 8. Now, can we accommodate any task here within the remaining minutes? We have only 2 minutes. So we can't. What are the feasible tasks? Next in line. Hello, update. B is possible, and only B. D is also possible, technically possible, but given the time, none of them are possible. So that we'll have to conclude this, right? Without allocating any more tasks. We consider this as the idle time at workstation 1. This 2 minutes idle time. Right. And we move to the second workstation. Quickly understand it, I hope that is clear. So in the workstation 2, how many minutes we have again? Again 12 minutes we have. Workstation 2. Now we have to think of in a technical manner, sequential manner, which tasks are feasible. Only 1 or 2 or 3. Now we already identified after A, B becomes feasible. So B is feasible. How about C and D? Are they feasible? No. Until we complete B, those are not feasible. But E is feasible because after A straight away, he can be started. Right? So, according to the sequential process, both B and E become feasible. Now we will have to prioritize one. We consider this type of situation a tie situation. Tie. Right. To break the tie, we'll have to use some rules. That is why we identify the primary and secondary rule. Clear? To break the tie, and prioritize one feasible task, we need to use primary and secondary. First, we start with the primary rule. So, what was the primary rule? Assign the task in order of the largest number of following tasks. We compare B and E, right, and consider their following tasks. Now, B has how many following tasks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After B, there are 5 tasks, following tasks. For E, 1, 2, only 2. B has 5, E has 2, so we prioritize what? D, according to the primary rule, and assign B to the workstation 2. Clear? So that is the logical way. Right? So you will have to use the same logic. Clear? First we take this sequential flow, and accordingly identify feasible task. There's a time to break the time. We use the primary rule and prioritize B. Now, after assigning that, how many minutes we have? B requires 12 minutes. Sorry, 11 minutes. So we have remaining 1 minute. Can we accommodate any task here? Are there any feasible tasks? No, we can't accommodate. So we conclude it there. We conclude the workstation 2 there and consider this as the idle time. Idle time at workstation 2. And we move to workstation 3. Right? So likewise doing, we assign tasks into workstations. Right? Workstation 3, how many minutes we have? Again 12. Now to identify feasible tasks, right? Now we have to give the priority to the task that we couldn't accommodate there. Right? So E is anyway there. It comes from the previous step. And we have now checked. Now what we have done here, we have assigned this into workstation 1. So, right. And then this into workstation 2. Now we have to assign the other task also in the same manner. Now we are going to consider E. Is that the only feasible task? No. Even C and D become feasible. C and D, because D is done now. Now there are 3 feasible tasks. Which one to prioritize? Well, we anyway prioritize the one that comes from the previous step. That is E, because that was qualified in the previous step. So E is prioritized. I assign E there. That is the logic. Right? That is the way you have to think. It comes from the previous step, so we prioritize. So how many minutes remaining? E requires 11 minutes. We originally had 12 minus 11. We have 1 minute. Can we consider C or D? We have only 1 minute. We can't. So we conclude it there. And we consider this as idle time at workstation 3. Okay? And we move to workstation 4. What we did was we assigned this to workstation 3. Right. Now at workstation 4 we have how many minutes? Again 12. Now we have 2 tasks coming from the previous step that are feasible. Are there more tasks now feasible? Can you understand? It should also become feasible. It also become feasible because E is now already completed in the previous step. Now again, this is a tie situation. We have 3 to prioritize. 1. So then, what is our principle? We prioritize the task coming from the previous step. That is C and D. Right? Before considering H, we need to consider C and D. Again, now we have to prioritize one. C and D, out of them only one. So which one to prioritize? And for that, we have to use the primary rule. Primary rule, according to that, following tasks. C has 1, 2, 3. C has 3 following tasks. D also has the same number, 1, 2, 3. So primary rule doesn't help us to break the tie. Break the tie. In such a case, we apply the secondary rule selected, and that is assign the prioritize the task in order of longest task time. We look at the task time and prioritize the longest one. C requires 5, D requires 4, we prioritize C. Okay, with the logic. That is it. So we prioritize logic, prioritize C based on that logic, and assign C first. Assign C to workstation 4. Now after assigning C, remaining minutes, C requires 5. We have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes. So we now have to check whether we can assign something here. Now H is that already, can we consider H? No. And even prior that we have to consider D. Can we accommodate D? Yes, D is feasible. But is that the only feasible task? Now H was also feasible, but now is H feasible? We have only 7 minutes, but H requires 11. So H is no longer feasible here for the workstation 4. Can we consider some other tasks like F? Can we consider F also here? Hello? Hello? According to the sequential process? No, we can't. Why? To start F, we should have completed both C and D. We have only completed C now. Can you understand it? So we can't consider F or any other. So only the feasible task is D. Are you following me? Can you understand that logic? So only D is feasible. So we assign D there. After assigning D, we had initially 5 minutes, and then we had 7 minutes remaining. After assigning D, we have 3 minutes. Is that ideal time, or can we accommodate some tasks here? We cannot think of H because we have only 3. Out of other tasks, we have to think in the next task F. Right? This is feasible now, and the time is also enough. Right? So F becomes feasible, only F, and the time matches. So we prioritize that, and we assign F also to the workstation 4. And then we have 0. To conclude it, what we have done here is we assign C, D, and F, C, D, and F into workstation 4. Workstation 4. Moving to workstation 5. Moving to 5. How many minutes we have? We have 12 minutes. From where to start? Well, anyway, H is coming from the previous step. We consider that. Is that only feasible task? No, even H is feasible now. But we prioritize H first because it comes from the previous step. So I assign H. That requires 11 minutes. So 12 minus 11, that is 1 minute. We can't accommodate any other. So I consider this as idle time and just load it there. Moving to workstation 6. Workstation 6, we have another 12 minutes. Now what we did was we assign these to workstation 5. At 6 we have 12 minutes. Do we have options or only one task? Only one. Right. That is G. Can we also consider I? No. We need to complete both G and I. Sorry, G and H. Only H is done. Now we then have G. So we assign G there. We assign G. And after that we have 12 minus 7. We have 5 minutes. Can we consider the other task? Yes, we can because we have 5 minutes. Then I requires only 3 minutes, so we can consider I and assign it there. And after that we have 5 minus 3, 2 minutes remaining. That is idle time at workstation 6. So we assign these 2 into workstation 6. Clear? So this is how we assign tasks into workstations and going to arrange them in a sequential line. How many tasks? 3, 6, 9 tasks into 6 workstations and 12 minutes speed. Now this is the solution that you have in the answer slide also. See, this is the answer you arrive at. Now, to assess whether this answer is acceptable or satisfactory, right, we need to use this equation. We call it efficiency equation. So, sum of task time divided by actual number of workstations. In this case, that is 6, actual number, into a cycle time. Do that calculation quickly. So, when you do that efficiency calculation, that is 65 minutes divided by 6 actual number of workstations into a cycle time 12 minutes. You get an answer like 90.3%, which is relatively a higher efficiency. Usually about 80% efficiency indicates that your solution is satisfactory. About 80, 78% or 80% would be better. Calculating the total idle time of the solution is also an indicator whether the answer is satisfactory or not. So we can add all the idle times together. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. Total 7 minutes. So you can calculate in this way also. Right? 7 minutes. Out of 65, in a process like 65-minute process, right? In all workstations, cycle time, total cycle time is only 7 minutes. That's also a good indication. We have 6 stations. Each takes 12 minutes, right? So that means altogether 72 minutes, but only 7 minutes idling. That's a good indicator. Is that clear? Any doubts, any questions? Please feel free. Doubts? Yeah. Hope you remember the one or two video clips we watched the other day, right? Automobile assembly. Right? So they complete certain processing steps at one station and forward to the next, right? Without delaying unnecessarily. At a given rate, given speed, following these steps. So if you go to some manual assembly, workers are assigned with some task that they can complete within limited time and forward to the next. That is the reason. Clear? What is the name of this technique? Assembly line balancing. Assembly line. Very useful in efficiently designing the layout for manufacturing. Now let me ask this question. Can we apply the same technique in service operations? In designing the layouts for service operations also. What do you think? Service facilities, service layouts, can we follow the same principles, same steps, assigning the tasks in different workstations and arranging the layout accordingly? And it should be, that is how it is. Even in services, this is possible. Any examples or any organizations, any uh, uh, layouts that we have seen that you think is possible? If you understand the concept, if you understand the technique, you should be able to imagine some situations. Where we should be able to use this, what kind of services, based on the two topics we have completed already, process types and the layout types. So what type of services this is practically possible? Let me simplify the question. produce customized services or standardized services, we can use this layout. Produce customized services or standardized services. Don't ask me what are customized processes, what are the customized output and standardized outputs. That can be easy. We will not say right? Because these terms, these concepts we have been using now for at least 6 to 7 sessions. Standardized services. Same treatment, same processing. Whether that is customers, whether that is parts, whether that is information, because in service processes, right, mostly the customers or information being processed for the physical items. You should be able to understand this. If you engage with the topics, they know to break it in a part, operations, that is they don't need a bad ready to engage with the that is the purpose. After spending 12 sessions, 13 sessions, 3 hours each. Your time, my time. So you should be able to understand something, comprehend something. Especially with a person like me, you should be able to do so. Otherwise, it's waste of time. Waste of time. Okay, coming to the example, well, the same concept, same technique can be used for service operations also. When we create and deliver standardized services in highly efficient manner. Say for an example, like in restaurants, at restaurants, right? Now assume there can be certain products like a burger or maybe sandwich that has a huge demand at the restaurant. Unlike Sri Lanka restaurant that here in Sri Lanka, right, the Pizza Hut, McDonald's, right? So such and various other, right? So they have a huge demand for certain product items, burgers, sandwiches, and various other. So they have arranged their burger production process, sandwich assembling process according to the same principle. So they could be able to complete, deliver one sandwich at a time, maybe 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, one sandwich come out of the process. Does that mean they can complete the entire sandwich within 30 seconds? No, the speed is 30 seconds. Some tasks are assigned into workstations. Within 30 seconds, they process them forward to the next. Like by 3 or 5 workstations, they complete the assembly process. Understanding? Standardized. And you know, sometimes they can even customize it. Like what? The filling can be changed. The other steps are same, right? But the filling can be changed according to the customer request. Still assembled. So that is the operation. And it maintains the efficiency. And for that, arranges the layout. Understanding? The same principle can be used in people processing or customer processing. Right? If you are delivering the same service. Now, say for an example. Hope you remember your experience during the corona period. Right? Did you take the vaccinations? No? No? At least one? No? Right. Also two? We have experienced this now. We have been waiting for hours sometimes in a queue to get the vaccination done. Haven't we? Right. Hours. You know why? There were no proper arrangements. So there were few steps only: registering the patient, checking the health conditions if necessary, and then issuing the vaccination card, right, and vaccinating and then waiting area and leaving. Is that a customized service or a standardized service, in your opinion? Hello? Is that a customized service or a standardized service? Vaccination. Like mass vaccination, we call it mass vaccination. Same vaccination to everyone, like that during Corona period. Mass customization, mass vaccination for centers. It's a standardized. That is how we need to understand it. So if we can arrange it in a standardized manner, we can expedite the process. And for that, this type of arrangement is needed. So we can expedite the process by arranging the layout. Can you understand? That's the point. If one or two of you can think of some applications, where we can use it, that's what I am expecting. It's not just a technique, this is more practical, where to use it. To arrange efficient layouts to produce customized products, standardized products or standardized services. It gives you more benefits. All right. Let me give you one more example there. When I visited one of the vehicle service yards, you know, vehicle servicing. How many of you have been to vehicle service centers? Hello? Vehicle services? Or been there? Been there? That? How do you think? 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you may have visited some small scale places or medium to large scale vehicle service stations. Right? Now, when I visited one service center, one of the AMW service centers located in Rajagiri, have you been to that place? Rajagiri AMW service center? No. So they have exactly followed the same concept. Now, in your opinion, to give a full service, right? To give a full service, how long it takes? There are various different tasks in giving full service, right? So now changing oil, changing engine oil and all, right? And then changing certain spare parts, right? Filters and all, right? And then washing the underbody, right? And then of course removing tires and cleaning them, right? So, and then body washing and vacuum, finishing, right? And applying wax and all. Can you understand it? So number of processes, number of tasks. At a normal place, how long it would take? It may vary from 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours or 3 hours. The normal setup. But that Rajagiri vehicle service yard, they had studied their requirement and then grouped their tasks into 3 workstations. You know, they had arranged everything into 3 workstations. To make it simple, let me now within 20 minutes, one workstation can be completed. So likewise, there are 3 such workstations. Each takes 20 minutes. 1, 2, 3. So this is how they have arranged their layout. Right? So the vehicle come introduces here. Vehicle 1 introduces here. Within the first workstation, changing oil filter, and most of the underbody washing and all done. And forward to the next, that is where the body wash taken place. That is for 20 minutes. And forward to the final one, cleaning interior, vacuum, applying wax, completing it, and handing over to the customer. Can you understand it? Because it's possible they offer something standardized service to all the cars. Now, what is the speed of this process? When parallelly vehicle throughout the day, when during the office hours, when they operate the process, what is the time gap between two cars? What is the time gap between two cars? 20 minutes. Right? 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes you get a finished car here. That is the advantage of this layout. What is the total time required for one vehicle to go through the process? 60 minutes. So within an hour, all the steps will be done. So probably customer can expect the vehicle 1.5 hours time. Right? Is that efficient? Of course, yes. So the beauty of this is this. Now, this is one bay. They call it different bays, right? So likewise, they have 5 bays. 5 lines parallelly operating. This is 1, let's say A. So likewise, B, C, D, E. 5 lines. So at a given time, every 20 minutes, how many cars coming out from the process? 5 cars. Every 20 minutes, 5 cars coming out of the process. At a given time, how many cars being serviced? Given the layout, 3 into 5, 15 cars being serviced. Parallelly. And every 20 minutes, 5 coming out from the process. See the speed, see the capacity, see the efficiency. So for that, how the layout has been used. So you can understand it. We have to use it practically. So this is how we need to think, right? Especially in our organizations, we have given least attention to operations and operations efficiency. And for that, what are the techniques? These are very simple techniques. Even we haven't thought of the technology yet. Right? So as organizations, as future managers, for managing audit operations, you're also managing audit operations. So you'll have to find new ways, new processing steps to complete things faster, efficiently. Right? And for that, various different operations management concepts you can try out. In an efficient process like this, saving 2 minutes, 3 minutes per day, I mean, in a process, that means saving a lot of money. Hope you can understand. Likewise. So with that, let me conclude this thing. The second layout type, what was it? Product oriented layout. We completed 2. I will take another 15 minutes to complete the other 2 also. What are the other 2? Right. We talked about process-oriented layouts, similar resources together. We talked about product-oriented layouts in a sequential manner, right? And then let me quickly introduce you to the third one. We call it hybrid layout. That has become more popular, more effective now. Right? Hybrid, also known as cellular. Hybrid layouts. As the term tells you, hybrid. Hybrid. Well, that is the combination of the previous two layout types to get the advantages of both. Right. Now, combine both product layouts characteristics and then process-oriented layout characteristics to get the advantages of both. That has become more popular in the last 2 to 3 decades after 1990s. Right? So, yes, especially 1980s, 1990s, and onwards. Right? So, we discussed that process layouts have flexibility as main advantage. Different products, different services. So, product layouts have high efficiency. Combining them would result in highly efficient, flexible. So that is the purpose of hybrid cell or hybrid layout or cellular layouts, also known as cell layout. If you think, you can quickly identify the differences. One of the most popular technique, right, to design hybrid layouts, they use something called GT. Right? GT stands for group technology. To group in the process, you will understand in this very simple example. So for that, use cellular layouts. There we have work cells. A work cell, and few work cells are used. What we mean by a work cell, right? Work cell is just like a assembly line. It's just like an assembly line, step by step. That has an efficient process, right? So a group of equipment or workers that perform a sequence of operations, like a product-oriented layout. Sequence, starting point to the end, right? Or multiple units of an item or family of items. So the same step is used to produce the same output again and again. The beauty of this is in a hybrid layout, we see few such work cells. So to understand this, I will use this illustration. Now what you see this side is a traditional process-oriented layout. Traditional process-oriented view layout. Can you understand it? Because resources are grouped by the function. Similar resources together. Clear? Because they are using, they are producing 4 different products flexibly. 4 different products, not only one product, 4 different products in this setup. So this is called process-oriented layout or functional layout. They are producing these 4 products using the same layout. However, that is flexible but inefficient. Why inefficient? Now say this component is manufactured using a process like this, right? And parallelly when you produce this component, disturbs the other flow. And likewise when you produce different products using the same layout, right? You will have some machines limited, so you cannot produce more. So likewise more inefficiencies. So group technology is all about arranging work cell for each component, like what you see here. For this component, one work cell is arranged, one cluster is arranged in a sequential manner that is being produced. So likewise for each component, different work cells are arranged. Such a system we call, such an arrangement is called hybrid arrangement. For each component, different work cell is used. So within a cell, product is manufactured highly efficiently. When you have multiple cells, you can produce multiple products. Variety, flexibility. Clear? So such array. that has become more popular in most of the factories and services too. So that is what we call cellular layouts, hybrid layouts. Can you see the difference? In hybrid layouts, we can see different work cells. In product oriented layout, we see only one production line, entire factory. That is the difference. So some advantages of work cells mentioned here. Good if you can understand, otherwise don't worry. So check with us, you can understand, and feel free to ask some questions if any. We can minimize the work in progress inventory when arranging as work cell. We can maximize the space utilization because floor space required for each work cell is less. Those are operational advantages. We can reduce the work inventories, raw material inventories as well as finished good inventories by arranging it as a hybrid layout. So likewise. Reduce the direct labor cost because workers will be used highly efficiently. And some other advantages. Increased sense of employee participation. They feel like they do something meaningful, engage in the work. Increased equipment utilization, machinery utilization, that resulted in high efficiency. Reduce investment in machinery and equipment because each work cell dedicated resources are used. In addition to that, now single workers or individual workers working in a circle like this, a layout like this would be considered as an improved layout. So like it's U-shaped. So workers completing into one direction only. And these workers are cross-trained workers who can assist each other, right? Or if we need, we can add one more worker to assist both, and thereby we can expect higher output, high productivity. In fact, what you see here, straight line make it hard to balance tasks because work may not be divided evenly, but U-shaped. We consider this as this type of hybrid layout as an improved layout because in U-shape, workers have better access to different tasks. You can understand it, imagine it and understand it. Now what you see here is 4 cross-trained workers reduced to 3 by allocating tasks. If you have been to some factories, they call it the dancing floor arrangement, right? Dancing floor arrangement, right? Because some workers will have some work here, right? And then they have some idle time there, so immediately they will be given another. I mean, the way that the tasks are arranged, they have another task to complete here during that idle time. By the time the other product has come to the production, I mean, they are step, they do this thing. So likewise, moving from one place to another, maybe walking distance. So that it, in a way, reduces the monotonous task and then increase the labor utilization. So likewise, what advantages are there? Dancing flow method. So all the workers moving here and there faster and completing their tasks more efficiently. And for that, they have arranged the layout. And that is easier when that is arranged as a U-shaped one because moving distances are shorter. U-shaped line may reduce employee movement and space requirements while enhancing communication, reducing number of workers and facilitating inspection. So Hope you can understand how important the layout design is to have efficient operation. These are not just theories, just concepts. Go to well-arranged factories, well-designed service facilities. You will see most of these layout improvements are critical. You can save a lot of time. You can minimize number of workers required. You can minimize the operation cost with layout arrangements. Some advantages and disadvantages of these can be found here. We will discuss. Coming to the last one, that is fixed position layout, right? This is little different. Fixed position layout, that is completely different. Compared to other three, this is a completely different layout type. You know why? In previous layouts, right, what is being produced, it could be a product or maybe customers moving through the process. Now here, material or the product being taken from this to that. The material or the customer moving, but fixed position. That, I mean, we sometimes question whether this is a layout, but is the product being produced kept at one place, or the customer kept at one place? If position is fixed, so what happens then in the layout? Different machines, different resources, equipment, labor taken to the product and do the processing there, right? And that is the arrangement. And that type of layout we call fixed position layout. Clear? Sometimes the product is bulky. You can't take it from one place to another. So you keep the product at one place, you keep developing it, producing it. Sometimes technically product cannot be moved from one place. Say for example, building construction. Building construction requires a fixed position layout. All the equipment, machinery should be taken to the site and used in the operations. Right? So such. Read these two, you will understand it. Where can we see these type of layout? These are used for projects in which the product produced is too fragile or bulky or heavy to move, or in some high skill services. Other characteristics are mentioned here. Equipment, workers, materials, and other resources brought to the site, while product remains at one location. So the customer remains at one location. Highly skilled labor is required. By the way, equipment utilization and other things would be at low. A typical example would be a surgery theatre like this. I wish you have not been to a place like this. Right? So to perform surgeries, the layout required would look like this. Patient laying on the surgery table, all the machineries, equipment, and the surgeons and the staffs around the patient, using different treatments, different machines for different treatments. Right? So it's a fixed position layout. Have you been to a place like this? dentist chair. Typically a fixed position layout. Because different patients, when we visit there, our requirements are different. So different tools and equipments, machinery arranged flexibly, the dentist will use them and give the treatment. And for that, fixed position layout. Can you see the difference? These 10 are the layout types. Surgery theaters, good examples for fixed position layout. Even shooting films inside a studio or at a location, it's an example for fixed position. So that take everything, camera, equipment, everything, and the crew to the side and shoot the film, shoot the scene. Fixed position. Yeah. That is the nature of the output we produce. Do you have any other examples? Have you seen some operations that is using fixed position here? If you think for a while, you will be able to understand. For some processing years. For some processing years. Have you been to Colombo dockyard? Yes or no? Yeah. One of the proud business we have here in Sri Lanka. They manufacture boats and medium to large scale ships here in Sri Lanka, close to Colombo Harbour. And the product they produce, that is medium to large scale ships, they'll have to start from one place and finish it there. They can't take it through a factory. Right? So the layout they use there is fixed position layout. There are different bays arranged, they call it bays, production bays. Right? So according to the customer requirements, they design the ship and use their equipment, components, and skilled labor to construct ships and then launch. Ship building, ship manufacturing requires fixed position layout. Many advantages are there, especially customized products can be produced. But there are many disadvantages like resource utilization, efficiency would be at very low. You will see those advantages and disadvantages there. Now, for example, say you, unlike a university canteen or a army mess, have you been to an army mess? No. Canteen, they used to provide meals or food items to a very big crowd. Would be 100, 800 plus, 1000 plus. Right. So everyone would go in a flow, serve their plate and go and have the food. Have you seen such places? Everyone go in the same flow. What kind of layout arrangement is that? No, exactly. Oh, it's not a fixed position layout. Okay. Canteen university canteen, so ports authority canteen, right? So the requirement is such, many individuals will be using. So no customized services, everyone will go to the same line, serve and go to the table and have food. What kind of layout arrangement is that? It's a product oriented layout. Standardized. And an assembly line. Think of it. Now assume you go to service restaurant with your family, right? 3 of you, 7 of you go to a service restaurant, right? For places. And do you also go, when you go for a buffet arrangement, you go to that. But in a service restaurant, are you walking through the dining area? No. You are sitting on a table, around a table, and waiters will come, take the orders, and they deliver the food items and everything to the table. Customers kept at one place. Items delivered to the table. What kind of layout arrangement is that? Fixed position. Understand? That is where these concepts are used. Okay. What is the advantage of that kind of canteen arrangement? You can cater to a big crowd. What is the advantage of these full service restaurants? You can offer variety of service, different food items, different tables. At a function like wedding, what kind of arrangement do you see? Wedding reception halls, serving foods, do they use product oriented layout or fixed position layout they use? Product oriented නම් ඒකේ හැමෝම එකම flow එකේ ඉඳලා serve කරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා වාඩිලා කනවා. Full service fixed position එක කරා. In case of fixed position, you should be kept at the table and everything should be served to the table. What happens there? It's a kind of correct combination, right? So for that, you may have seen they are arranging buffets and into two or three, maybe three, right? 3 buffets. Say, starter menu, starter buffet, and then the main course, and then after having main items, desserts. Arrange as a separate arrangement. So individuals like you and me, just go to starter buffet, take some items in a sequential flow. We be in a flow, right? So we can cater to a big crowd, but still can provide customization. Those who want to ignore the starter can straight away join main course, and then serve the items that come in. And see the advantages. So flexibility. So that's a kind of hybrid arrangement. 3 cells are used to offer 3 services: starter, main, desserts. So those are the advantages. What we discussed today, we talked about the remaining layout types and where they are used. Right. Let's have a small break and come back. It's 1:45. At what time you will come back? Maximum 2:05. 2:05. 20 minutes.
ada di bawah ada di
next week ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಡುವಣ್ಣ series lang muna yan pati report kan itu plus size di dekat kan lah gambar baru dan tamat di dalam cerita size katakan kemudian tapi mau jadi size kan begini here it's really great game sharp.
ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉන්න වාඩිලා මම ඉතින් කියවන්න නේද? මම කියලා ඊට ප්‍රශ්නයක් කරනවා ඒකට උත්තර යන්න ඊට පස්සේ ඒකත් මමම කියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙ ප්‍රශ්නයක් කරනවා. මොකද්ද? කියන්නේ නෑ මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? එක්සෑම් එකට හැබැයි මම නෑ පේපර් එකේ තියෙන ක්වෙස්චන්ස් වලට ඔයගොල්ලෝ තමයි කියන්නේ. Someone will sign. Now the submission link is created LMS so that you can upload your group. How many groups? So we now have to schedule a presentation and then just discuss. Have it as quickly as possible. Better, I think. When your memory is fresh. So let's schedule it as quickly as possible. What if we schedule it for next week? Next Monday, next Sunday. So don't take it too serious. Now, if you have done a good job in report preparation, study in the organization, if you have finalized the content. Now, presentation is for 20 marks, right? 20 marks, and out of that, 12 will be for the group performance, and another 8 for the individual contribution, in the sense how confident you are on the content you contributed, right? Altogether 20. So 12 group marks, 8 individual marks. For the report 20, so that is how the total 40. Now write this down somewhere because some others who are not here. So this is the arrangement. 12 marks for the group performance. How nicely, how confidently you present your content. And then sometimes depending on the presentation skills or the answers you gave, you are going to give during the Q&A session, 8 marks. Now, how many members in the group? Maximum 4, is that? 4 or 5? 4 or 5. So you can decide, maybe even 2 or 3 can do the presentation. Not only, not everyone. You can decide 2 or 3 can do the presentation. The remaining 1 or 2 should be here, should present here, should be here, but can answer 1 or 2 questions at the end of the presentation and still get the total 8 marks if the answer fails. Right. So you decide. No need to present all 4 or 5. And the time, I think a total of 15 minutes would be fine. Right? Within 15 minutes, if you can, conclude your presentation, because the report is anyway there, so then no need to elaborate things. Only thing is you should confidently present what we have finalized in the report. And for that, I think even having 3 slides should be fine. 3 slides would be enough. So what are the three main areas you are covering or you covered in the report? One is very brief introduction to the organization, because to the audience including me, we need to know what type of organization this is. Name of the organization, the products they are introducing, the operations facility you studied there, and there is a factory, another operations facility, right? So what you studied there, where that is located, such basic information in one slide about the organization and the operations facility you studied. So the second slide or the second, you can go for 2 or 3. I mean a total of 3 or 5 slides, but I just recommend 3 slides. The second one is on now the main capacity related issues or the problems you identified. Right? You can just introduce them in point form in the slide, but you can describe them during the presentation. And that is one of the main parts you are going to cover. The capacity problems, issues, whether that is labor related, process related, machine related, technology related, whatever the capacity problems we have identified. Now, one or two can explain those points, right? Right? So, one or two can share the points. To get more marks, using some interactive sessions would be more effective. And then the last slide that is on your group suggestions. Your group suggestions to address the key capacity problems you introduced. So to cover all these areas, 3 slides will be fine. But if you feel like you need to show some images, like some specific details, I haven't seen your content, so that I am not going to comment on that yet. So this is what. What else you want to know? Is it alright to schedule it next week? Schedule it for next week. Or week after next. Next week. Week after next. I think this completing the content, don't worry. Prepare your slides and create the presentation one time at least and do the presentation. You decide the presentation order. Who wants to do first? Who wants to do second? I'm not going to interfere, and let me know. Right? Make sure you try to get a good mark for the group assignment. To help me. I will be trouble in marking answer scripts. If your CA marks are lower, now we run on to put up marks that we are done before second presentation at least about 30. But then the very I won't be able to, I won't be able to give, you will have to learn. In fact, if you have worked hard, if you put your genuine effort, why should I really marks? I don't. You have to learn. You have to show that you are committed on it, you have done something genuinely, you are confident on what you have done. So likewise. Right, with that, let's move to the next topic in line, that is topic number 7 for you, that is quality management. Right, quality. One of the important areas in operations management, very important for any business, whether that is manufacturing or services, quality management has become critical. Initially in manufacturing industries, now even in service industries, managing for quality has become important. So managing for quality, and one of the latest approach for that is TQM that we try to cover here. And I don't know whether you will understand everything. I will try to help you getting an idea what quality management is, why this is important, what are the different methods, techniques used for that. So you will understand as you move forward. So this is the content we are going to cover. See, you may see, you may find this handout on the LLS. Could you? Yeah. So we will define the quality, what it is, and identify the quality, we call it quality dimensions. For products, what are the criteria used for assessing quality? For services, what are the dimensions? They are different. I think we have studied them. Have you? Let's see. So, why for operations and for the business, managing quality has become important. Its benefits, its advantages that we try to identify, and then as the main content here, we will try to understand what we mean by quality management, what steps involved, what activities involved, what techniques. That is the main content we are going to cover. Because I think there is no any other subject you study about operations quality. You will talk about assuring quality in auditing processes and all. That is different. Right? In a way, that is also somewhat same. But in manufacturing, in producing products, quality management techniques. In creating and delivering customer services, managing quality, that is little different. In fact, what you do in auditing, ensuring auditing quality, that's also somewhat similar. Have you studied about it? Ensuring the audit quality of the auditing process. And for that, you have standards, right? You have standards for as a part of quality management, now we see QMSs, what they are, for what purposes they are used, and other quality management approaches. We see how things have been evolved. Most of quality framework and it's a new concept and new content for many of you, and the content is huge. This is just a topic for us, but quality management itself is a subject. So let's quickly try to discuss some basic concepts on this.
and then try to get a simple idea. Quality, quality management. Quality and quality management. Have you studied it before? No. What do you think it is? Any guesses? Any opinions about quality management? What is it? What do you think about it? Quality. Quality. What do you think about it? Any idea? Maintaining standards, yes, that is what mainly it is. Maintaining standards, or sticking to standards is perfect. So for each product, for industry, each product there can be standards. So make sure that your products are in line with such standards. So that is one important side of quality management too. So such standards are there only for products, or are there service standards also? Services also there are standards, right? So maintaining them. That's part of the service. Two. What else you know about it? That's about the standards. Yes, what else? Anything. I just want to start something or somewhere. What else you know about quality? You as customers, when you make purchase decisions, do you consider it something like quality? Probably we don't have specific criteria, but in our mind, when we make a purchase decision, what is the number one factor you consider when you make purchase decisions, like a gown, like a pair of shoes, or when you select a restaurant, or laptop or mobile phone? What is the number one factor? That is the price. Right? That is the price. It is common for most of us. Right? But with the price, what else we consider? Something called quality, right? We don't know the criteria, we don't have common measures, but still we consider it. For customers, that is important. Now, when there are different products, are the quality same? Different products, different quality. So, we carefully assess as customers for the price we pay, the quality of the product we are going to buy. So, for customers, that is important. In fact, here we have to understand that because we in operations management, what we discuss in operations management, we talk about the operations, so the activities, so the processes used to produce products. It services create and deliver services. So we think from the operation side, we think from the manufacturer side, business side. So then, these are important. Is managing quality important for operations people or for the business? Because it's due to various different reasons. That is what we could understand. Especially from business side, why that is important.
Simply we can say there are other competitors also. If our product is not up to quality, if our products are not quality all the time, customers will reject our product. They will go for competitors' products. If our products are not in line with standards, right, there will be sometimes complaints from customers, from markets. Sometimes there are regulatory bodies monitoring the quality and all. They will complain against us, our products. That is why. So here in this topic, we will identify the meaning of quality and quality management techniques, steps to be from manufacturing side, from operations side, from business side. So the meaning of quality has been defined. Different people have defined it differently. So given here are some different definitions. It's an old wheel. We got a France in that wheel, which is very old. They believe quality equals the excellence. Highest quality is what we need. Excellence. The superior performance. Now, let's say, when you talk about wristwatches, let's say, there are some highly reputed brands, like Rolex. The performance is extremely high. So that is what we mean by quality. So that is only one wheel. There are other wheels also. When you talk about quality automobiles, some might refer to Rolls Royce or Mercedes, the extreme versions. So that is, so those are the only quality products. So the quality is not accurate. There are other names. There are product-based names. They believe that for different products there are features and characteristics that we use to measure the quality. Manufacturing based view is what we are going to discuss in detail. I will come back to that. But user based view, users, how customers assess products. So customers assess the quality of product based on the performance. Better performance, higher quality. More features, better quality. Simple. That is how we as customers assess quality. Quality lies in the eyes of the beholder. Customers assess the quality. That is another view. Value-based view talks about a trade-off between price and value. Customers compare the benefit you are going to get for the price they are going to pay. And according to assess it. Our main focus is on this manufacturing based view, in which the quality means conformance to standards. What is the term? Conformance to standards. Further to that, making the right product first time. Making the right product. Right in the sense, product in line with the standard. The right product. First time. So in our operations management subject, our focus is mainly on that because as operations manager, that is what we are responsible. Conformance to standards. Making the right product first time and thereby ensuring the quality. Clear? The different views, we are focusing mostly on this, but at the same time, other views are there. The meaning of quality in textbooks, they explain it from two sides. Two sides that you see here. These are the definitions given. I will come back to them. Now, in slide number 5, the meaning of quality described in two ways. One is from manufacturer side, and this is somewhat latest, we call it consumer side. However, in businesses, we need to combine both together, and that is how quality can be received. Producer side, that's the concept we use, and that is called quality of conformance. Have you heard of it before? Conformance? No. Only thing also you have this idea, conformance, conforming to the standard. Same way here. So that is called conformance quality. And from customer side, the quality is described quality of design. Quality of design. And the latest meaning for quality is the combination of both. And this is the simplest definition given. Quality, I mean, one that you can see here, fitness for customer use. This is the meaning of quality in today's context. Even today, it's a very simple definition that covers a wide range of aspects. Fitness for customers use. The same you can see in the previous slides also, slide number 4. American Society for Quality is one of the accredited firms. Define quality, quality management and all. They define quality in this way. The totality of features and characteristics of a product. It doesn't depend on only one or two factors. Total. What are the features? And all the features and characteristics, the totality of features and characteristics of the product that they are on its ability to satisfy your needs. It doesn't depend on one feature or one factor, all the factors. So in simple terms, the quality refers to the ability of a product to fulfill the requirements of customers. Have you come across this definition before? What is the meaning of quality? The ability of a product to fulfill the requirements of customers. For the service, that's what you say. Ability of the service to fulfill the requirements of ability of a product. Isn't that the same idea here? Fitness, customer use. Fitness of what? Okay, fitness again. Fitness of what? Fitness of the product. In case of services, fitness of the service. To fulfill the customer needs. Customer use. Now, say for an example, you go to the market to buy a pair of shoes. Someone told a pair of shoes. You don't know much about quality standards and all, right? But how do you assess quality of a pair of shoes? How finally you judge it? Have you done something like that? Everything on it. You are satisfied only, you will take the payment and buy. Happy about that quality. How do you assess? Do you look at only one aspect? No, you may look at different aspects. Like what? One of you is when you assess the quality of a pair of shoes. Hello, I'm just asking a simple question. You as customers go to market before selecting a pair of shoes. What factors you consider? Material, the material quality, whether this seems to be durable and then comfortable. So, right? So material, the shoe, right? So, and then of course the cover, quality, leather, right? So its quality, that is one thing. What is this? Do we consider the brand name? Yes. Reputed brands, we are ready to pay higher prices here, right? So the brand, because it carries a kind of, each brand has a reputation, right? So we try to buy reputed brands so that we feel like we buy good products. The quality is high. Puma, Adidas, originals, right? Nike, they are ready to pay. It's any depends, right? So on office shoes, there are different brands, reputed brands. So reputation of the brand, 2 points. Material quality, we look at. Brand, we can see what else. Hello. How about the design? Do we look for very old-fashioned shoes? No, we need somewhat latest designs, attractive designs, right? Finish of it and the design of it. Important. What else? Once you know Prashna, Mamu Savina, what are the other points? This is not operations management. You as customers, what are the factors you consider? Color, colors, and color combinations. Art is it's a part of design, but it's the colors, color combinations. Special, yes, true. And special features and all. Special features, whether you can wash it and use it again and again, or whether you can polish it. Do you consider whether the product has some warranty? Do you consider manufacturer warranty for at least 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? Even for a pair of shoes, you might look for a warranty, at least 6 months, 9 months warranty. Likewise, so. Customers assess each product based on the fitness of the product in line with those requirements. Material, reputation wise, design wise, color wise, aesthetic aspects. That is how the fitness of the product is assessed. That comes from two sides. One is called design quality and the other one is called conformance quality. This side I can quickly understand what those two are, right? So design quality, I will come back to conformance quality. Design quality is all about what are the features of the product, how the product is designed. This is very good, right? Designing quality characteristics in your product or service. Of course, quality dimensions may be varied from product to product, service to service. Right? But these design features are important. That is what we just said. What materials they have used? PSS. What features the pair of shoes has? Do they have options, colors, different designs? That matters. Those are design features.
So businesses are now supposed to design products as per the customer requirements. So remember, when we talk about product design, we talk about value-based design, QFD approach. Right? All are talking about, you will understand later. They are talking about the customer-defined quality. Quality is finally assessed by the customer, so that product features will be decided by the customer requirement. Design quality. However, with the quality, customers also consider the price. Clear? So designing the product in an acceptable manner to the customer is important. That is called design. However, what we mean by performance quality, which is very important. First one is also important. Second, this is the traditional way. Right? Performance. Like you mentioned, for every product there are standards. And in operations management we call them specifications. For each product, there are specifications. Do you remember? Product spec. Specification. That technically specify all the technical details of the product. So when the product is manufactured, who involves in manufacturing? Operations people, operations staff, and managed by the operations managers. So when they manufacture, the final product which are produced should be in line with this spec criteria. That is what we call quality of conformance. And that has to be done in a consistent manner. All the products we produce should be in line with the spec. Product spec. To make sure that the processes we use to produce them also have specs. For processes we have specs. So they are followed in the same manner so that we can produce products in line with the product specs. That is what we call quality of conformance. Right. Degree to which products design specifications are met in the production process. Understanding? It refers to making sure the product is produced according to the design specifications. Design specifications. That is the meaning of conformance. Not the conformance, but conformance. Well, that depends on various different factors. Some of them are mentioned here, but the meaning of quality comes from two sides. What are the two concepts? Conformance quality and design quality. And out of these two, both are important, right? Both are important. In fact, these are two sides of the same coin. You will understand later. Right? Market side or the customer side, manufacturer side or the business side, two sides of the same coin. In today's competitive markets, we see and we consider that customers' view should be given more prominence. So in other words, we should start from the market according to set the spec and follow the rest. You will understand. So that is the meaning of quality. So how do you define what the quality of a product is? Because in operations management, we mostly talk about manufacturing industries. Quality of a product, what is it? Quality of a product.
That is part of it. So, fulfill the requirements of customers. Quality. Well, quality of a product depends on what? Yes, the exact point, but one more to say, places are missing there. Meet the requirements of customers. What matters? The ability of the product. That should come as a part of the definition. The ability of the product or fitness of the product to meet the fitness of the product. I will explain the quality management techniques and all a little later, but quickly move to slide number 14 and 15 just to show you two things that I might have the class today. Now, for products, how customers assess quality, what are the key criteria they use, uh, uh, explain as quality dimensions, product quality dimensions. Right. Now, textbooks, we identify these eight, some textbooks they talk about it, but basically these are the product quality dimensions. Product quality dimensions. That is the quality of a product. You and I go to the market to buy products. Do we use this criteria? Not exactly the same manner, but research findings finalize everything and then they summarize those quality characteristics into these. Right? So, same, like they are more or less same, but the number of things. Now, performance is one criteria. Features are another criteria. Conformance is another criteria. Reliability, durability, service aspects, aesthetic aspects, reputation, those are the different product quality types. Spend little time, you may not understand everything. Ask some questions. These are our products. These are our products. Anything that is not clear? We have still 5 minutes so that you can ask any questions about product quality. The one you mentioned that is brand that comes under reputation. That means the past performance of the product registered in the customer's mind. Okay. This brand is considered as now say for example mobile phone. When you go to the market and buy a mobile phone, you may look for iPhones. They have now. So you may go for iPhone. Well, this Samsung there are two series, right? This series. So this latest features and the modern technology and all. So so you may go for Samsung S series models, right? Because of the reputation.
and the others, performance of a product. So we use it for one purpose, main purpose. So how good that is? Primary product characteristics. And features, that means in addition to the basic performance, what are the latest features, additional features, unique features, innovative features? More the features, higher the quality. Then the conformance, there are standards to what extent the product is in line with standards. And at the same time, customers consider the durability. Durability. How long the product can be used without any major repairs. The report, because this will be broken down, will test durability. Then at the same time, service, or what we call serviceability. In case the product is damaged or broken down, are there spare parts available? Are there repair services available? We can see. That we call serviceability of the service. And at the same time, aesthetic aspects of the product, like the colors, what we mentioned, new design, aesthetic aspects. That is the mobile phones. So female would prefer different colors. So that matters when we assess it. And male would not prefer such colors. They would prefer some other colors. So that we assess it. As part of all, even for whatever product, we are automobiles, aesthetic aspect matters. That's about product. We go there, product, quality, diabetes. And if you pick up the other slide also and complete it, we call it for services, dimension. For services, quality dimensions are a little different. Not the same dimensions according to research findings. Now, this model introduces you 5 dimensions, right? And this slide, how many dimensions? 10 dimensions, right? So different models propose to different dimensions. I will refer to this one. How many dimensions you have? For services, 10 dimensions in this model. So these are called service quality dimensions. There are different products. Secondly, you can understand it. Service dimensions. Not the services you offer, like auditing, right? Because those are professional services that have different quality dimensions. These are customer services, like banks, restaurants, hospitals, education institutes. How customers assess the quality of the services based on these dimensions. Reliability of the service. Whether the service providers consistently perform acceptable performance. That's called reliability of the service. And responsiveness is also important in services. Responsiveness. When customers come, whether the service providers attend to their requirements quickly. You go to a bank, you don't get any person to attend to your requirements, you will spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, low responsiveness. The customers rate the quality of such services at low level. You go to a restaurant, for 15 minutes, no waiter approaches you. For waiting, that shows that low responsiveness. So you rate the service quality at low level. Understanding? So you go to private hospital where they have a kind of concern on quality management. You may see sometimes immediately one or two persons approach you and ask from you what is the requirement, what kind of thing you want to get told here. So they will show us the direction, accompany you to the place, so that you feel like the requirements will attend quickly. That means responsiveness is high. So customers rate quality at high. So like other dimensions, they are different from product quality. Competence of the staff, access, courtesy, communication, credibility, security, knowing the customer, understand the customer requirement, empathy, and also the tangibles, uniforms, furniture, the outlet, the layout, everything matters when it comes to service quality. That is different from product quality. Clear? Product quality dimensions are different from service quality. So in quality management, how they maintain the quality and all, that is different. These 5 dimensions are the most commonly used quality dimensions in business service quality. Reliability, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and responsiveness. That model is called service quality model, SWOT model. Yeah, just heard of it, that's enough. What's the name of this model? SWOT, service quality model. That has 5 dimensions. So in this topic, we try to understand whether there is manufacturing, especially manufacturing, because our focus is on manufacturing organization in operations management. So how to make sure the product you produce in line with the customer requirements and in line with the specs, and for that, who are responsible? Who actually produce products? Operating level staff under the supervision of operations managers. So do they have a responsibility in maintaining quality or managing quality? Of course, they are the ones who produce it. So they have a huge responsibility. And to support that, there is a separate staff in organizations, who we call quality management staff. Yes, they are the main responsible party, but who actually produce products? Operations staff. So if they don't follow the right procedure, they won't be able to produce. So in this topic, we will identify as operations managers what are the techniques, tools, methods organizations can use to maintain higher quality levels. There are a variety of techniques, methods we will identify to you. Probably not next week, but week after this, because next week we are going to have. Right? Thank you very much.